Now, the thing that's interesting, though, Coop, not going to lie, our offense versus their defense. Because, as it was mentioned in the comments just now, their defense is 122nd in the country. So, let's go ahead and take a gander at that. But first, we've got to pay these bills. Make some picks here with our partners at Sleeper. Use our promo code UNFAIR. Get 100% back on your deposit up to $100. Let's look at this game. So, Sleeper believes Mateer is in a 240-something yard range. Just because I am an optimist, I'm going to take more. Give me Deshaun Bishop scoring 1 touchdown because he's just that good. He's going to score. Aguilar at 260. And I don't think he's had a game where he hasn't gotten over 260, so we'll take the more there because there's a big possibility. Can Deion Burks get a touchdown? I'm definitely taking Isaiah Satania because you know he's going to do something. And Brazel, that dude's a pain. But I want Giovanni Gibson to get his first touchdown. You can do the same. Use our promo code UNFAIR. Pick more or less on the stats. If you feel like it's not going to be any of them, pick less on everything. That means you'll win if you're right. You know what you're doing. So check them out. Use the promo code UNFAIR. They're going to match your first deposit 100% up to $100. Plus, they just going to give you $20 just for signing up. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Thank you all for pulling up as usual. Hit the like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe if you're listening. Rate, review, give us 5 stars. Coop, here we go. This, my friend, when I looked at this pie chart, when I looked at this spider web, I got queasy. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start with their defense. Because I think their defense tells a pretty darn good story here. No one ever believes us when we point these things out. So, is that the full picture? There's the full picture right there. Look at their defense. This is their defense on the spider web. They do a really good job of making you have 3rd and long. They're pretty solid at that. Their stuff percentage, opportunity percentages, not bad. And they do stop explosive runs. But they ain't good at stopping anything else. This defense is horrendous compared to last year. And it's mainly because they have dealt with so many injuries on defense. I was talking to my guy Eric Kane over there on Locked On Balls. Fantastic episode. It'll launch on the Locked On Sooners channel tomorrow. And he was talking about, he's like, man, there's so much potential for this team, but the defense ain't there this year. You don't have James Pierce out there terrorizing everybody, right? You don't have all of those beasts you had on defense last season. They're not there. And then McCoy is dealing with that torn ACL that was late last season, and he's still recovering. He's working out. He's still limited in practice. He won't play this week. Now, put it this way. They're not going to risk him this week. You may see him in like 2 weeks, but you're not going to see him this week. They are. They'll probably play him against New Mexico State, which is in 2 weeks because they get a bye week 100%. After us. Perfect time to play him. Give him a light game, be able to do something. But cool. This is bad. Now, granted, our offense ain't that much better, but this is bad. Their defense is really bad. And as is mentioned in the comments section, 199th in total defense. They literally are a mirror image of what we used to be back in the day.
Lincoln Riley Day. I will start with this, though. I will start with this, Jay.
Defense, you're done, but go ahead.
These are like this is SEC athletes still. Don't get it twisted. These are SEC athletes. And if you give them confidence, they will take it and they will run with it. But a lot of this comes because they are cheeks at tackling.
They really are bad at tackling. Aren't they one of like the lowest in the country?
I think they're number 1 in the SEC worst tackling team.
Oh, gosh.
But I would say this, that there is an absolute this isn't going to be that they just let dudes run wide down the field. It is the old school Alex Grinch, the type of defense to where you can't tackle anybody to save your life. They make dumb plays, too. Their nickelback, which I think is a mid band. I don't think it's the worst band in the world, but Boo Carter is
Boo.
He reminds me of Bookie. You're like, oh, look at that. That's a really good play. And then you look and you're like, what the hell was he thinking right there? And you're like, he had no clue on that one. So it is a mixed bag of WTF with WTF, him.
Mate.
The longer, I love that you brought that. The further back from the defensive line, the worse it gets. It is a parfait of poor defense. I'll coin that phrase, and Topher, if you can clip that. But it is a parfait of bad defense. The best is that the defensive line, still not what it was last year. The linebackers get progressively worse, defensive backs and then the safeties. Hopefully we'll see the back of their jerseys several times.
Yep.
That's why they struggle. And it is just, you said it. They'll get you into 3rd and long, and then they'll let you out. And, man, it's a... You want to give the ball to the athletes. Like that are athletes. And we're going to have opportunities to make guys miss. And you don't want to run straight at people. You want to try to get out of those tackles. And I promise you this, we're going to see some people sliding down X-Rob's body the further he gets in the secondary, because I mean they will bounce right off of him, and it's not going to it won't be pretty.
Yeah, if there's one thing that X-Rob's going to do, he's going to break some tackles. 100%. I'm here for that. And that's what we're going to have to do. A lot of. If we do a lot of that, we good. We really need to be handing him the ball at least 20 times in this game. Give Tory Blaylock 15, because you're going to have to rotate the 2. But run right at them. Make them tackle you. Juke them. They'll fall. They'll miss. They don't wrap up very well. I mean, that's our offense right there right now. It's, some things that we do. A couple of things here or there.
It's a baby spider web right there.
But
I will say this. One thing I do notice about their defense is they seem to have eyes on one player. And they will dictate that's the player that we need to stop. And they actually do a really good job at that. In that Alabama game, it was Jam Miller. Now, Alabama has a rough time running the ball. But anytime he got the ball, they looked like a different defense. When it went somewhere else, they looked like what they are. So, who are they going to look at? Are they going to be staring at are they going to be focusing on John Mateer, not letting him get out and run the ball? Or are they going to say, hey, listen, we saw what happened last week. We don't want to let Xavier Robinson get off, so we're going to focus on him. Whatever it ends up being, like, you're going to have a lot of opportunity. And I would love to see a situation, I saw it a couple of times versus Ole Miss, where we pulled Deion Burks back into the backfield and didn't really do anything with that. But I'd like to see, a situation to where you bring him back out, you motion him out, you get him on a sweep, and then you get those athletes out in space and you make them come up and make tackles. Yep. That's going to be a situation where if Ben Arbuckle has learned from the Ole Miss game, it is look at the tape, see what they have struggles doing, and let's exploit it. Because if we bunch up and we just try to run it through their defensive line, we play right into their strength. And we need, if more than ever, we need to spread them out.
That's the key thing. We do need to go to a veer and shoot type version of the air raid and play it that way. Keep them spread out, make them chase dudes, hit them get them in space, get Deion Burks in space. I mean, Arbuckle told us he's going to do that. We've gotten the lip service of him. He talked about that in his presser, thank goodness. But that's where we're at. We're going to need to spread them out as much as possible, because as you look at this, they're not stopping much. And that's just being honest. They're not. That's just not how their defense is played this year. They're just not as good on D as they were like last year. It's completely, when you see it's night and day.
100% different.
Last year's defense was so solid. Yeah. It was a top 15 efficiency rated defense in the country. I mean, we were top 7 when we finished last year. Yeah, we were number 7 in the country. They were number 11. They were good. This year, I don't think they're like 100, and as I search for them, because wow, they did
It's a
Actually,
couple
little bit higher in
scrolls.
the rating. Yeah, I know. You got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to find people. They ain't very good at that. That's the key thing. Tennessee, the 25th in efficiency rating. Interesting. On the adjusted, not actually bad. They've given up 30 points to every team in the SEC so far that they played. Kentucky got 34 points on them. That one was interesting. And I think, didn't they get like 2 pick sixes? Now, that's the one thing I will say about Tennessee's defense, though. They're gonna force turnovers.
They're going to try.
They're going to jump plays. For it. They're going to sell out for picks. They got 5, and they've got 2 touchdowns so far on interceptions. They've recovered 9 fumbles so far, and they've brought, I think, 2 of those in for touchdowns. So they're going to get turnovers. That's their game. Not mad at it. Pretty good. But they average, as Sean points out here, 12.5 missed tackles a game so far. Golly.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
And they'll get, they're not terrible at sacking the quarterback. They'll get in there. So now they also don't have the interior defensive line that Ole Miss had. Mm-mm. That was the strength of their defensive line, and they brought it. And then Prince isn't really bad. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. Yeah. So
Prince,
but again, you have to keep it out. And here's the thing: is their fans are not them. They're going to believe that they're going to win this game. They're going to have all the confidence in the world, and you got to instill some doubt in that.
Right. Like every Tennessee fan I've talked to so far, there's like, we got a lot of, we should win this game. But my question is, what is our defense going to look like? And is your offense going to flip the switch like they did at the beginning of the season? Will it switch back on? Because if that happens, because at the beginning of the season, we saw, Ty Simpson did not look very good, and we had questions about him. And he got to this game, and he was cooking. He was dealing.
Yeah. It's
going to be on John Mateer 100% on what he brings to the table. And we got to talk about him a little bit.